Okay, you guys ready? Hi, everyone. Hi, my name is Mia Libby. I am the head of tech and enterprise advertising at the Wall Street Journal and Dow Jones. I'm thrilled to be here today to have this really interesting conversation, which, when I tell a lot of people that I'm hosting this conversation, they're like, oh my God, I didn't even think about this. I didn't even think about the long tail impact of GLP-1s and how they are changing consumer behavior and how brands are going to have to start really thinking about how to change their brands as a result. And so we have an amazing panel here today. I'll introduce everyone. We have Mary Rochelle Stump, who's the head of US Sales East Coast for Connective Media by United Airlines. Thanks for joining us. We have Chloe DePeace, the EVP, Head of Digital Strategy at Havas Now. We have Brian Robinson, who's our Global Chief Strategy Officer and Head of Growth for the GLP-1 consultancy here at Havas. And we have Rick Lloyd, who's the founder of Range Health Advisors. He spent 20 years with Novartis, leading consumer health and pharmaceutical organizations. So we have an amazing panel here to talk about the drugs themselves, the trends that we're seeing, and really how we're seeing trends across multiple sectors shift and change. And I think it's really interesting that we're doing this here at CES, where you think about the types of innovations that we're here to see are technology innovations, but this innovation, GLP-1s, this is rapidly changing the world. It's changing consumer behavior. It's changing the way that people are living. It's changing the way that they are consuming multiple facets of their life. And so this is a really relevant conversation, and hats off to Havas for sort of recognizing this moment and being real consultants and blazing this trail. Tell us a little bit about new travel trends that you're seeing and how United has sort of met that moment to provide the best possible experience for its consumers.
Absolutely. So the global travel industry is a $2 billion or $2 trillion industry. And United particularly, we are not only the largest global airline now, but we are hitting record-breaking numbers. We're coming off of the biggest July 4th weekend, the biggest December. In December alone, we had over 550,000 passengers traveling every month. So double-digit growth, and much of that is fueled by these first-time travelers, these next-generation travelers. So in addition to these moments, these experiences that new populations are looking for, we're seeing the motivation for travel change. It's not just about the destination. The journey doesn't start when you land and get off the plane. It starts when you leave the house. And we've been seeing real excitement and interest in adventure travel, these experiences that are more deeply rooted in connecting to self-discovery, connecting to your family, connecting to cultures around the world that are not just the landmarks that you see in traditional photos, but this growth and excitement around discovering new areas of the world, that touches all parts of our business. So again, when we are the largest, we're serving over half of the US adult population. We are adapting, we're pivoting. We just announced our new network and a number of new flights to exciting places like Greenland and Mongolia. These are physically demanding destinations. It's not just a beach trip. So the fact that people are now able to explore in a way that was never possible for them before because they are healthy, they have these new active lifestyles, that's really exciting. And I think that the adventure travel trend is going to continue into the new year. Trends for travel that feed adrenaline, that are leaning into passion points, these are going to continue, and I think that it's opening up opportunities for brands and verticals to lean in and help make that happen.
And so health and even longevity are sort of are really at the crux of a lot of what we're talking about here. And Chloe, one marketing trend we're seeing here at CES is health really taking center stage. And we've seen that for years, but I'm curious how you see GLP-1 sort of really fueling that, being that, we're here talking about this maybe for the first time.
Yes, absolutely. So first off, you're totally right. The digital health space keeps growing and growing year on year, which is a nice, I think, testament to one of our big beliefs at Havas, which is that every brand is a health brand. So it's really taking over a lot of even the consumer space. With that being said, are GLP-1 fueling this growth? I do think so. In specifically in that, as Brian said earlier, about 10% of the US population is currently taking a GLP-1 drug, which is creating a whole new ecosystem of GLP-1 focused innovations that are being created to meet the new needs of those GLP-1 users, so from full assistance from the start of their journey through like new weight loss concierge or digital health platforms that are going to hold your hand through a virtual consultations, to the prescriptions, to checking in with you, to side effect management, to nutrition and fitness coaching, etc. So you've got Ro, you've got Noom, you've got all these new digital health players that are really making an impact on the field. I've seen a lot of innovations in terms of nutritions and supplements. So you've got company like Lamy, the Kardashian company, Codich, Sowell, that are introducing all sorts of supplements, whether that's protein supplements, collagen, vitamins, to complement the new needs of GLP-1 users. You've got a lot of innovations in food and beverage and packaging. So yes, we're definitely seeing a lot of innovations fueled by the GLP-1 revolution.
And Rick, I have a question for you, but go ahead.
Well, I was just going to jump in and make an analogy to, and just why I think it's relevant to talk about GLP-1s here.
Yeah.
Because if you think about this, it's so much bigger than just a new class of medicines. It's so much bigger than just a larger population changing behaviors. It goes against every trend in the pharmaceutical industry, which today is about treating smaller and smaller patient populations with more focused medicines. That's most of what's happening. You're looking for a particular mutation or biomarker that you want to treat in order to improve patients' lives. This is one mechanism that we're finding works in diabetes, it works in obesity, heart disease, sleep apnea. These are the approved indications. It's being looked at across many more indications. So from a pharmaceutical perspective, it's much bigger. And almost every study has been successful so far. From a consumer or a services perspective, it's a lot faster, because trends typically play out in those segments over decades or a decade. Wellness led to double-digit growth in vitamins, minerals, and supplements, and that was a big trend over a decade.
Yeah.
But, you put those two differences together and you have something that looks more like technology changes. And it's more like AI. It's more like a new iPhone, because it doesn't just touch one part of a person's life. It can open up and change so many different parts. It's just not simple.
So, Brian, I'm going to kick it over to you. Blow our minds from a stats perspective. How many people are going to be on this thing? How many people are on it now? Like, tell us about this. Give us some stats on this rapid growth.
I feel like in Vegas, I got to do more. To blow your mind, I got to do even more. So we'll do more at the casino maybe later on. Let me just start by saying I love that story, Rick, and that's what this is all about, like changing people's lives. Right now, the best estimates are between 9 and 11% of Americans are on GLP-1s, which is really significant. Now to be fair, that is split between those using it for type 2 diabetes and those using it for obesity. So that's not fully starting from zero with obesity, since the indications, these brands were launched for obesity. But it's still a very significant number, and projections have the overall market size globally to be upwards of $500 billion by 2035, which is in Vegas terms even massive. Yeah. It's really big, and what's fueling that? We have a worldwide epidemic of obesity, right? So right now, approximately 1 billion people worldwide are obese. By 2035, that figure is going to be about 8.3 billion, and that include children as young as 5 years old, included in that. And that is a combination of clinically obese and just people simply overweight. So yeah, it's a very sizable market, and that's why there's so much energy behind this right now.
We're going to have to wrap now. Thank you guys so much for joining. Like I said, I think this is an underserved topic, an incredibly interesting one that we should probably come back next year and have the same conversation. I'm sure everything will be different. Thank you guys all for your unique insights, and thanks for everyone attending.